Happy Wednesday, everybody. Garage Devotional. I'm pretty excited about today. I'm actually starting a new devotional today. I'll kind of get into that probably on Friday. And I'm pretty excited about today's first devotional. So, first thing is we're going to talk about is grace. So, what is God's grace? And what can it do? So, we all, as Christians, talk about grace a ton. Really, maybe the right way, maybe some of us the wrong way, maybe some of us the right way sometimes, and sometimes the wrong way. But what can God's grace do? God's grace can make you financially wise. It can make you a better person. It can help you be sexually pure. It can help you make better decisions. It can help you communicate in a more loving manner. It can make you more thankful. It can make you a better parent. It can help you have a healthier marriage. It can make you more forgiving and less anxious. It can carry you through disappointment. It makes you more compassionate and less bitter. And it reminds you that you're loved. And that's just a small portion of the things that grace can do and does. We often think of grace as just this thing that saves us at the moment that we accept Christ, but grace is really the thing that carries us from day to day. It is the thing that gives us the ability to love people and to be loved, which I think is something we miss a lot. A good friend of mine shared that with me one time, is like, how can you love people better if you don't really know how to be loved? And so part of my prayer almost every day is, God, teach me how to be loved by you. Because sometimes we're not able to receive that grace because we don't understand that we deserve it in a way, or that it's available to us, or if you think about God, and once He gives you that salvation, you're an heir. When He looks down upon you, He sees Christ, all that stuff. So in that way, because you are one with Christ, you deserve that love. So all that stuff I just talked about is really just scratching the surface of what grace is and what it can do. The thing that grace is really designed for is to bring us back into worship with God. It brings us from the stolen point of sin, where we are removed from God, and sin is taking that grace and peace and all those things that God gives us away. It is stealing it from us, or stealing us from Him. And grace is that thing that brings us back into that worshipful position with God. It allows us to worship God, which is pretty outstanding. We'll read in Romans chapter 1, starting in verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For His invisible attributes, namely His eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world, in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor Him as God or give thanks to Him. But they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal men and birds and animals and creepy things. So, as you see there, God is there to be worshipped. He desires our worship, and only in that worshipful state can we be made whole, can we receive that grace, that full grace of God, so that we can be all those other things that I talked about earlier: better marriage, better relationship with your children, loving, caring, compassionate. All those things are a little more difficult to be without God's grace. So guys, I love you. I thank you for today, for tuning in today. Of course, like, share, and subscribe, all that kind of jazz, wherever you are. I hope you have a grace-filled day. Thanks.